Choosing to ignore AI in 2025 is like choosing to ignore the internet in 1993, especially if you're a creator. That's why in this video, I'm going to share 5 AI tools that will help you improve your content. Now, much of what I share will be in the context of X or Twitter, but these tools can help you on any platform. Now, you'll notice as I show you the tools that I will not use them to create content for me. Instead, I will use them to enhance my creative process. And the first step in the creative process is to come up with ideas. There are many tools that can help you with this, but here are 2 of the best. The first is Grok, which you can access for free at grok.com or through the X platform. Let's say you are a personal trainer and you want to create some content about how to build muscle. Well, just go to Grok and ask it for 10 post ideas about how to build muscle, and it will give those to you. So if we look here, we've got myths versus reality, what progressive overload is, how much protein you need, and so on. And you can now take these ideas and write posts yourself about each of these topics. If you want more ideas, just ask for 10 more, or you can even just ask it to give you as many ideas as it can think of. Once you draft up the posts, you can then have Grok analyze the tone, suggest improvements, and even fix spelling and grammar. Now, you may be thinking, can't ChatGPT do the same thing? And you would be correct. But one of the benefits of using multiple tools is that you can submit the same prompt to all of them and get slightly different results. And I've seen that this is especially helpful when I'm just trying to come up with as many ideas as possible. So if you compare these 2 lists, they are pretty similar, but not identical. For example, they both shared ideas about nutrition, but ChatGPT suggested talking about macronutrients, while Grok suggested talking about nutrition timing. All right, another part of the creative process is creating visuals. There are lots of image generation models out there, but Grok can be useful because it doesn't have the same content limits as other models. For example, I asked ChatGPT to generate an image of Elon, Zuck, and Jeff Bezos all in black suits, and it told me that was against their content policy. Meanwhile, Grok had no issues generating that for me. And there are many ways you can use these images, such as adding them to posts or creating memes, but let me show you one of the ways that I have used it. A couple weeks ago, I had an idea for a YouTube video, but I could not for the life of me think of a good thumbnail. So I told Grok what the video was about and then asked it to give me 10 thumbnail ideas. It gave me a list of ideas, which I then turned into image generation prompts and copied back into Grok. So just like that, I had 10 thumbnail concepts for my video, and I ended up using one of them for the actual thumbnail. Now, it didn't create the thumbnail for me. I still had to bring it into Photoshop to add some text and make other small edits, but it was incredibly helpful to come up with ideas when I was stumped. And while we're on the topic of Photoshop, another useful tool is Adobe's generative fill feature. When I was creating these thumbnail concepts, you'll notice that the image is not the correct size for a thumbnail. So I used the generative fill feature to extend the image to become the proper size. This is honestly one of my favorite tools because it makes editing images super easy. And even if you don't have Photoshop, Canva has a similar feature. You do need the pro version to use it, but if you want to try it out, you can sign up for a free trial. All right, so we've talked about coming up with new ideas, but what about analyzing old content to figure out what worked? Let me introduce you to our next tool, Claude, which you can access for free at claude.ai. Claude is good at summarizing and analyzing data, so it can be very useful for analyzing your old content and then suggesting new ideas. For example, I downloaded my post history from X and then uploaded that CSV into Claude and asked for 10 new content ideas based on which of my posts received the most engagement. Keep in mind, this will download all of your content, so if you only want to analyze your posts, just bring it into Excel or Google Sheets and then filter out the replies by removing any content that includes the @ sign. So you see here that it summarized my best posts into 5 topics, gave me 10 new content ideas, and then explained why it suggested those ideas. If I want to dig further into those ideas, I just have to ask. And once again, this is a feature that ChatGPT can do, but since I'm just analyzing data and getting new ideas, it doesn't hurt to have multiple tools to do this for you. If I were to review this data myself, it would take hours. But with the help of Claude and ChatGPT, it took minutes. All right, so the first 4 tools I've shared are pretty common, but this last one is brand new. Shout out to Alex Finn, the creator of the tool, for getting me in the beta program so I could test it out. And since I'm filming this before the tool has launched, I recommend following Alex on X for the latest updates. The awesome thing about this tool, which is called Creator Buddy, is that it provides a more scaffolded interface for people who are not as familiar with AI. There are tons of features in here, and Alex is still adding more. So I'm just gonna cover my 2 favorite features, and if you want me to create a dedicated video on the entire tool, let me know. But we're gonna start with the history tool, which allows you to load your last 500 posts and then ask an AI coach to analyze them for you. This is very similar to Claude, except it includes preloaded questions for you to ask, and it was also built specifically for X users, so you can get more detailed feedback. Some of these questions are more high level, like asking it to spot commonalities in your high performing posts, but you can also get more specific, such as asking it to look at all the posts that received the most bookmarks and then tell you why they were the most save-worthy. From the history tab, you can also sort your posts by engagement type and then click this repurpose button to load them into the composer. Let's say we want to turn this successful post into a longer post. So we just paste it into the composer and then change the format, click repurpose, and then it will do that for you. But I would not just hit copy and paste into X and then hit publish. I would review it to make sure it matches your writing style and is actually something you believe, and then also hit the Algo Analyzer button. I think this is the best feature in the whole tool because it will analyze your post and then give you specific recommendations to help it perform better. Just last week, I used the Algo Analyzer to refine one of my posts, and then it ended up being one of my best performing posts of the week. And understanding what the algorithm likes is crucial to succeeding on any platform, but especially on X. So if you want to learn more about that, I recommend watching this video here.